I am back. Oh, I hope you all got your shitty pants on. Because you may not need them. Stick around.
It's astounding.
Time is fleeting. Madness
Takes its toll.
Let's do the time warp again.
Why, hello there. I am WackJob, and this is the Wacky Horror Picture Show. And I'm your host, as I've already established. And with me here is my mad Twitter, and it is awesome and can kill you. So, today, well, all throughout August this month is End of the World month. And as part of that, I'm going to review some apocalyptic movies for you. Zoom the camera out! So, our first pick of movies that I am reviewing in this show, as it is End of the World month, is Knowing. This movie is a 2009 sci-fi thriller starring Nicolas Cage and the Australian actress Rose Byrne. Basically, from 1959, these kids buried a drawing in a time capsule, except for one of them. They buried numbers. Then about 50 years later, in 2009, Nicolas Cage's son, who's part of the class who digs up a capsule from 1959, finds all these numbers and doesn't know what they mean, but then he works out that they're dates with disasters and shit that happens. And when he discovers that when the numbers run out in 2009, well, basically he has to go and find out the woman who did this. But of course the woman who did these numbers is dead, and her daughter, played by Rose Byrne, is the only descendant left. Nick Cage has to then discover how and what's gonna happen. But of course, Nick Cage's son discovers that there's some weird alien creatures talking to him that want to take him away to the new world before the apocalypse begins. Basically, in this movie, we have people have to try and make it to the caves, but that's not gonna save them. Nothing is, as a big solar flare comes and burns out the earth, destroying it, while selected few go on board the alien ships and to go to the new world. So what did I like about this? Well, I like the cinematography in this movie. I thought Nick Cage being Nick Cage, he does crazy shit in this movie. I also liked Rose Byrne in this. She was real beautiful in this movie, like she is in most of her roles. I also thought that this movie, well, it was very good. And actually the world does end. It's not like he can stop it either, because this is something that's beyond control of man. And of course, he does some shit and he gets all fucked in the a-hole from it when the earth burns out the sun. I also like the musical score in this. They did play the music, 7th Symphony, 2nd Movement, as the world was ending, which I kind of thought was a nice touch, kind of apocalyptic in many ways. I also loved everything else, such as, well, the mystery, the strange happenings and stuff. How these events were predictable, yet they happened. Yes, it was all insane and mental, but I so enjoyed this movie. It was a good thriller, and it's almost 10 years old. About 9 years ago this movie came out too. And basically Nick Cage is knowing everything. Knowing all about these numbers and what will happen when they run out, cause pretty much they're fucked. So yeah, knowing my dislikes on this movie. Where do I begin? Well, I guess I did not like, how these disasters were predictable and then, shit happened. But, hey, shit happens. It's all about Earth. Basically, the message behind this is probably global warming and shit. And then if you don't do anything, the consequences will be severe and great. Anyway, I don't know much negative shit to say on this movie, apart from Nick Cage was acting like he always acts in movies, with the whole goofy look and everything. But hey, we like him for that. We love Nick Cage. Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna now give you my final thoughts and ratings. I thought the cinematography was good. I thought our two leads, Nick Cage and Rose Byrne, did good, and stuff. Yeah, it was an entertaining movie, and every disaster that could happen, happened, because it's a disaster movie, and hey, I'm reviewing a movie where the world ends, because it's ended a fucking World Month on Random Horror. So yeah, with all that being said, I'm gonna give Knowing, I reckon I'll give Knowing about, I'll give this 3 whacks out of 5. Now for the next part of this show, another movie review that is the end of the world. Yeah, that's right, it's Independence Day. Stick around. Alright, so for my second review of this show, I'm reviewing Independence Day. A 1996 sci-fi classic, which stars many various actors, including leads from Will Smith and Jeff Goldblum, and Bill Pullman. So this is a 1996 sci-fi action apocalyptic movie where it's July 4th, and what do you know? Fucking aliens come down on Earth and invade, and cause shit and havoc, and it's down to the Air Force and the US government to put a stop to this shitstorm of alien invasion. And of course, yeah, it takes place on July 4th, Independence Day. Ah, yes, I remember July 4th when I was growing up in Little Italy. My mom always beat me. Enough about my past. So, let's get on to the likes and the dislikes about this movie. So, first of all, my likes. I like the effects in this movie. They were very good for its time, considering it's the 90s, and the 90s is when, cinema finally got massive digital effects and shit, and a lot of, digital animation and stuff. But yeah, I like that. I also like the performances from all our actors in this movie, including Will Smith, Jeff Goldblum, and Bill Pullman, including the guy who was Eddie Griswold in the National Lampoon's Vacation series. He did a great job in this movie too, as the guy who was going to the aliens, calling them assholes and telling them that he's back at the end like a fucked up Terminator. Also, I enjoyed everything in this movie, and yeah, this is a great movie, and has been a standalone film until 2016 when they decided to make some sequel, which I find is quite unnecessary given it's a good movie. If it's not broken, don't fix it. If it's too far apart, why make a sequel? Then again, we are in the age of franchises, sequels, and reboots, so what the hell. I also enjoyed, the soundtrack in this, how all the bad guys and the good guys fought one another. I liked how they took us into Area 51 as well. I also loved the cinematography. It was done very nicely. And stuff. I also liked the look of the aliens in this movie. They were fantastic. Wonderful creatures. Crazy ass motherfuckers, I have to say. Did this movie have Samuel Jackson in? I don't know, it's fucking ages since I saw the movie, but I do like the film. And I have seen it once, twice, 3 times. I've seen the movie 3 times, Independence Day. Let's see, dislikes. Oh yes, there is one thing I did notice in this movie which I thought was kind of hilarious. A movie error. Yes, there was a part where they knocked over some can and it said Art Department. Oh, Art Department. It's like the art department forgot to throw that trash can away and it ended up in a shot in the movie. Yeah, that's, I won't say it's a dislike, but it is a noticeable error if you look carefully in that. Also, my dislikes. See, I've reviewed, in my opinion, two great movies, so it's hard to give negative thoughts on a great film. I guess what's negative about it is they made a sequel 20 years too late, and it was just crap. Fucked up piss. Yeah. But I still thought the movie was, the sequel was watchable. I'm not talking about the sequel, I'm talking about the first movie from the 90s. I thought this was a great, alien invasion horror. Did the world end in the end? I don't think I'm giving anything away now. Of course the world didn't end. The humans won, and obviously in those 20 years they've used their technology to better themselves. And also create weapons of destruction and that for the aliens in the sequel. Alright, so let's just get on to my final thoughts and ratings. I thought the directing was done nicely in this movie. The cinematography was done nicely. The effects were great for its time. And, well, Will Smith wasn't in the sequel because I think he saw what was coming. I think Jeff Goldblum came back for some monies. And we also got Bill Pullman. Oh yeah, look, I'm just saying Independence Day is a great movie. The sequel I didn't find necessary, but still, it was alright. And the whole movie Independence Day is great. What a way to have July 4th. Long ago they were fighting for their independence against the British, and then they fight for their independence against the aliens. So with all that being said, I'm gonna give Independence Day 4 whacks out of 5. So, that has been my double review show of the Wacky Horror Picture Show. Yes, and it has been an End of the World Month special. Be sure to keep watching End of the World Month on Random Horror, and if you like this video from me, be sure to give it a big thumbs up, share with your friends, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. All of the social media links for Random Horror are down below in the description, so be sure to check all that out, and until next time, don't have nightmares, because you know me, I'm always waiting for you.